Here you have it. Bike is on the ground. How do you pick it up? Now, I need to explain a few things quickly, all right? Number one, when you drop your bike, the first thing you do is switch the ignition off. Very quickly, go for the ignition. I hope that you are okay, but switch the ignition off. So if you can help yourself and you're alone, ignition off. Then go gather your wits. Breathe, because do not try and attempt to pick this bike up the moment you fall over. You want to have the strength. The adrenaline levels are way too high and it makes you numb and it prevents you from picking the bike up. So ignition off. Number two is try and get the bike into first gear. See if you can get in there to get the bike in first gear. If you can't, then you can't. All right. If the bike is, let's say the bike was fallen on the other side, then it's easier for you to put the bike into first gear, put the side stand out, and then lift the bike up over and let it rest on the side stand. I'm only going to show you one method here quickly, my preferred method. There are two more, but I'll see if I can post a link to a previous video I did a couple of years ago where I showed all three methods. But this method I find the easiest for me on a bike like this, for instance. So ignition off, bike in first gear if you can, walk around the bike and see if there's anything around the bike that will prevent you from picking the bike up in the first attempt. You don't want to try and pick the bike up and drop it again. It really is discouraging. So walk around, see, look for gravel, anything that will make the tire slide when you pick the bike up the first time. Really difficult situations would be picking a bike up in sand. That is really difficult. I've heard of guys riding into to Mozambique, and on a stretch of 2 kilometers he's dropped the bike 12 times. Come the 6th time he had to ask locals to help pick the bike up. And another one is if you dropped your bike in a slight incline and the bike lies downhill and have to pick the bike up uphill. That makes it very, very difficult. So if you're not faced with those challenges, then here we go. So number one is you try and get the handlebar out from, if it's collapsed under the bike, get the handlebar out so that it's right there for you. I'm going to use the handlebar to pick the bike up. All right, the bike is not that heavy, but I've done demos on bikes where they weigh close to 400 kgs, like Harleys and so on. But try and get the handlebar out this far, because we're going to use that as leverage to pick the bike up. All right, here goes. So what you do is you grab the grip right here and get as close to the bike as possible. Do not try and pick the bike up with your back. You will hurt yourself big time. So you don't come here and pick the bike up with the back. Sorry for the best view there, guys, but don't try and pick the bike up like this. You need to use your legs, all right? The muscles in your legs are much bigger than the muscles in your back. So you try to get the grip. In other words, close your hands like this, below that grip there, and bring your shoulders back and look up when you pick the bike up. Right, so let's go. Up there. Step closer to the bike. Walk it in, and once you've got your bike right there, side stand out, and your bike's picked up. Make sure that your first attempt works, because the second and third, you'll be puffing, you'll be discouraged, and all those emotions will make you even more numb and disable you completely from picking the bike up. So make sure that you cover all the bases as far as switching the bike off, getting it in first gear. If it's on that side stand out. You can lift it up and drop it onto the side stand. If you're on sand, that might not work for you. Walk around, look for debris that might make the tire slide. That's why I didn't do it on this wet grass, because the wet grass, the tire will just slide on that wet grass. And then you come back and get the handlebar out so that it's either facing forward or straight right next to the bike, so you can get your hand in properly like this or like this, and then get yourself as close as possible from the bike. Pick up with your legs and your arms and move yourself closer to the bike as you bring the bike up. All right, I hope that little advice really helps you. I'm not saying go put your bike down and try it a few times, but if you have rubber mats like this on a Harley, it's not easy because it's got highway bars on the side, and a Harley or some of the cruisers don't fall flat like this one. It falls and it lies at about a 30-degree angle, so it makes it a lot easier to pick up. But even a big bike like that is a challenge to pick up if you do it wrong. The bike, like sport bikes and these adventure bikes, when they fall quite flat. And really you have to gather your wits quite nicely to bring the bike up on your first attempt. Good luck, folks. I hope that dropping a bike never happens to you. But if it happened to you in the past, I hope you've learned from doing it wrong, or perhaps you've known about these methods and you were able to help someone else pick their bike up. All right, it's always easier when there are more than one person to help you bring the bike up. But if you're alone, then you have to get the bike up, otherwise you're camping. Thanks for watching again, and see you on the next video. Stay safe.